And to get you more on this, I'm joined by Lead India correspondent Akhilesh Suman. Good morning. Tell us how Dr. S. Jaishankar's visit will help in bolstering the relationship and the strategic partnership between India and France.
India and France are already strategic partners, so there is no problem in the relationship between the two countries. But once you go to the country and once you talk to the dignitaries there, and once you talk about the different layers of the governance people, I think it boosts understanding between the two nations. And I think Prime Minister, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar is doing the same thing when he is in France and he is meeting with ambassadors. He is also meeting with other dignitaries. So, that India and France have a robust understanding in that way. And this visit will further, increase the depth of relationship, given the fact that U.S. President Donald Trump has put a challenge before every country on the world. And in this way, the need to India and EU to come together. And France being one of the most important countries in the EU, I think this understanding will impact a lot as far as the economic and political relationship between India and France are concerned,
And also when we talk about this development, this is also a very strong sign of India moving towards becoming a developed nation by the year 2047. And the latest UN report also says, and as you also had an exclusive conversation, he says that India comes as a silver lining when we talk about the economic growing prospects. How do you see this, the impact of this particular report that has come out in favor of India's economy?
I think this is very important, report by UN. And the prospect of 2026 is very important thing for India as well as for the world. India being the largest, open market in the world, largest economy and most populated country in the world, I think the world should have, special relationship with India. Given the fact that, right from the rural areas to urban populace, cities to towns, I think India is doing robustly well, even amidst the disturbances in the Middle East and also ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. India's domestic market is quite thriving, and India's public investment is helping the private investors to come and invest in India from abroad also, and even private investors are, investing in India too. I think this gives enough scope for the world to come and invest in India, come and make in India, and come and make in India for the world also. So I think this report will further boost the investors of the world that amidst all these disturbances, the tariff impositions, India is the fastest growing economy in the major economies of the world. I think that there is no enough encouragement for any investor, either government or private investor, to come and invest in India in different sectors. Being the largest consumer base in different segments, either in the lower middle class or in the middle class or in the upper middle class or in the upper class itself. I think everyone is a good consumer in India, and they want and go for marketing, they want to open businesses, they want to be entrepreneurs. I think this is the enough space given for world investors in this point of time. And I think New Year, every country of the world, every investor of the world will try and see the scope of investment in India.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us our rounded perspective on the latest developments.